Welcome back to Fallout 76, everyone currently watching. How are you today? Good? Beautiful? Grand? Alright. Now, before we get into it, I just wanted to say a couple of things. That being, before we do anything else aside from the regular old adventure, that being Survival Beta or the Nuclear Winter Sneak Peek, we're gonna spend some more time in the regular old Wasteland. And then the next couple of recording sessions I sit down to do, I'm gonna go through and see what those game modes have to offer and if they're any good or if they're just hastily tacked on like this seemed to be. The the other thing I wanted to mention was when I first started playing this, as I was watching over the video, I noticed that I was a little quiet at certain points, and that's primarily because when I get into a game for the first time, I have this tendency to be like start to go in focus mode and just start to enjoy the game. And I'm trying to reteach myself not to be silent and do that while I do something. So I had failed to mention a couple of things like all the different options and filters for the picture you take for your character and the sort of lack of a larger number of options for the character hairstyles that weren't that I think there were more in Fallout 4. I could be mistaken. Okay, well, that's interesting. Seems like we spawned in where our camp was supposed to be and someone else had built their camp, so. Alright. We'll have to just move it, I suppose. For free, that's nice. At least it didn't try to charge you anything. I don't really classify that as any kind of a game issue. That's just... It's a good thing that they have it to where you can move it for free and it just doesn't exist anymore. That would kind of suck if you went to go back into your camp and it was just gone and you had to rebuild everything. Which I'm sure could potentially happen from time to time. I should probably set that up like... I need to remember what the button is for the map. I did press the right button and it took a second to load in, so... So we're going to analyze the water kit. Alright, that's not that big of a trek. So we'll go there, see what that has to offer, and then on our way down here, if we have to, we'll post up that camp. So, ooh, still having a little bit of that frame stutter, but it doesn't seem as bad as it was when I first started. So that's good. So, nice little random quest. Those are always fun. Yeah, probably should just set that camp up right away and not have to deal with hoarding all this junk. So I'm not sure if a lot of it is shared loot or like on the random table or what have you. Like if that individual came through, would he see different loot? Probably, hopefully, I would hope so. I'll just see if I can plot my camp over here. What would that be under mix? No. Oh, okay. Wrong button again. That would be just L1 to move camp. Let's see where we can place this thing. Or is the red signifying that it can be placed regardless of it being red? I mean, is it just signifying that it can be placed regardless? Okay, so it's saying it can't be placed near existing locations. That makes sense. Mole rats. Probably the most familiar enemy. Or mob, or what have you. From the previous games. Okay. There we go, got him. Ooh, another one. Mole rats have some decent stagger, so that's pretty interesting. Keep pressing the map button to... There we go. So the question is, did it keep all of my builds? Oh, there we go. Okay. That's good. Don't have to worry about that. So that's pretty slick that they have this set up like that. Where you just replace your camp and then rebuild your structure when you go into the build menu, and they didn't take all these resources away, because that would be very frustrating. That'd be very frustrating. I had before this I had watched the Internet Historian's The Fall of 76. So there are a couple things I noticed right away, like the fact that 800 hold unit, the fact that this can hold 800. I'm pretty sure there was one point where they fixed it to where it was like 600 or something like that, and they buffed it up to 200 units of weight you could hold. So that's nice. It still is a little, like, not jarring, but weird to me that the sunglasses, the glasses, the hats, the clothes like that don't do any bonus stats. Like, they don't have a +1 to perception or what have you. Then again, the way they do the skills overall is extremely different from what I'm sure a lot of us are used to. But that's alright. I like learning new systems sometimes. Sometimes it adds a little bit of a variety that is needed in games. Store all the junk, that might help. Yeah, there we go. We got rid of half of our weight. Can I build anything? Anything regarding... I can build a cook stove, so I might as well do that. Cook stove, it's a campfire. Don't really care for a trap yet. I'm looking for something specific. I don't know what that is yet. Beds. Okay, I can just build this off the ground, so that's nice. That's what I wanted to do. And we will just destroy this. That's not what I wanted to do. That's not... Okay, oh, okay. I thought I got rid of that bed, too. I was about to be very aggravated. Alright. Now, let us focus on the main story. Now that we have my hoarding tendencies out of the way, we have a water testing kit to analyze, or yeah, no, that's right, in the lab. Those are the emotes. I want to go up, I believe. Yes, up. Use our pipe pistol for a little bit for some range. Trying to juggle between the combat styles, which are primarily melee and gunplay. Doing that so it's not all the same exact attacks, and we'll experience things from different angles, because sometimes you might miss something when something's up in your face, and sometimes you might see something when it's up in your face that you would miss when you're far away. So we're going to do a little bit of both from time to time. I think I'll have it to where it's going to be like one more session of me just doing the main base game to see how much that's changed and how much everyone likes it that they come across. And oh, I was already here. Nice. Anyways, boil water and optional harvest wood. Where do we go to harvest wood, I wonder? Regardless of all that, where was I? Oh yeah. So after the next session, I believe we'll start trying out the other game modes. Get a feel for how different those are, what they bring to the game, and if those alone could potentially push everyone over and get your money for the game. Again, I do kind of like how you just walk up and there's no animation. Then again, some people might dislike the fact that there's no animation. Might ruin people's immersion. So, for anyone who has played Fallout 76 or is trying out this free week, what do you all think? Do you think that they've changed enough, or are you not even bothering? Are you coming here to try and state your curiosity? Thank you. What was I doing? Water. Boiled water. So many rads. I'm looking for something that gives like the most water. Could use some mut fruit juice. Hey, this is the first time I've seen some of the drinks actually like something that actually affects stats. So that gives you a +1 to agility. This gives you a +5 to disease resistance, which I pretty sure was a thing. 10 to max AP, so that's pretty cool. I was mainly focused on the fact you get 15% water from those. Wood is a fuel source. That's something I didn't think about. It's very interesting trying to keep certain things in mind when playing a game that's like this. Like that pepper I just picked up, is that a random item, or is that literally an ingredient I can be using in future recipes I could potentially pick up? Spices, like, again, are those random things, or are those actual ingredients for certain things? Keeping that kind of stuff in mind is pretty cool. And like I said, those are the things that I actually do enjoy about this game. The fact that the things that they have added are unique and different. Like when you had played this in, not played this game, but when you played Fallout 4, you didn't have that oh, I need wood. Wow. Okay. So I should probably try not to use all of my wood in one spot. Anyways, yeah, you didn't have all these like wood as a fuel source for Fallout 4 or anything like that, which is actually something I kind of like, and it makes sense for a game like that. The idea of trying to make it in the wasteland and survive gives off that feeling of like, oh hey, you it's weird that these things will not harvest, and I'm interrupting myself, I know that, but it's just something that not really bothers me, but it's kind of like,
Well,
what's the word I'm looking for?
I guess.
Like, the lack of the proper animation is sort of frustrating. Regardless of that, I do like that, well,
I knew he was too young for me.
I mean, I'm 24, but that's neither here nor there.
Good. It's the old Billy I really miss. The one who used to do nothing all day with me but listen to the radio and drink.
I mean, I don't really listen to the radio. I will enjoy an occasional drink now and then, though. Sounds like you're talking about an alcoholic on the works right there. That's not always fun.
I can't believe my wake-up call was watching people's heads get stuck on spikes.
Ooh, that's a little rough.
So, what is an old gal like me to do? Steal all the food? Get the hell out of there.
Finally! It took this long for one of these farmhands to finally attack back, but it finally happened.
Oh, I know it's gonna piss off Billy's friends, but I don't give a damn.
Well, I can see why she got killed. Getting thirsty. Nice little pop-up notification there, so you, if you're not paying attention, you'll be informed of when you start to get thirsty.
And that's what this tape is for. I don't really care. I call myself an addict, but it ain't the chems that finally got me. It was always Billy.
What exactly am I looking for? Oh, aid. We're looking for Radaway. I'm not going to use it right now. I'm going to wait until my radiation's as far down the line as it possibly can be, but that, I don't know about. Then again, it was basically the same thing when you were on the hardest difficulty for Fallout 4, so it's not really that troublesome. The only issue is you can't, like, fight it off as easily as you can in this game. In that game, I mean. Like, in Fallout 4, you can fairly easily just fight off whatever disease comes across you by out-sleeping it, or taking a whole bunch of antibiotics, or the natural herbal remedies before, and then taking what you needed to, be it the Rad-X or the Radaway or what have you. Might as well help out a little bit. Oh, I thought that was a regular player. My bad. Kind of funny. Now the farmhands decide to it's now that the farmhands decide to make their stand, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, no, so far I'm pretty interested in the side stuff, the little, like, comments they make, but the fact that you can't come across Billy and take him out, wow, it's really weird to say your own name when referring to somebody else. Anyways, the fact that you can't go through and take out Billy. Okay, that was close. It's kind of frustrating, you know? That was something that I always enjoyed from Fallout 4, being able to go, well, I don't like this dude. He's kind of a jerk. Might as well go and take him out and get some form of revenge for the character that was wronged. But because this game first came out with no NPCs, then you're in the situation where if you follow any sort of quest line, or if you go to where they mention in the holotape, then all you're coming across is dead bodies. And they're not the dead bodies that you made. So, that's a shame. A little bit of screen stutter right there, but not too noticeable. I do like how the farmhands, those robotic farmhands sometimes decide whether or not you're worth fighting. And they either come after you or they just leave you be to do your own thing. That's pretty funny. I think that might be an a little AI glitch. I don't think they're supposed to be set up to do that. I like how the holotapes sort of play right away. I'm not sure if they did that in any other Fallouts, especially, like, the more I think about it, the more I think you had to go through and actually play the holotape if you picked it up from a person. Unless you did it a certain way, like by doing the transfer thing, and then when you're in the transfer thing, you press a certain button and it would play the tape like that. If I'm remembering correctly. Could be you just picked it up and it played, but I don't think it was that simple. That's something I think they should bring through to the future games. That'd be a pretty cool thing. Being able to just listen to a holotape as soon as you pick it up. Let's just use a little bit of stealth. See what that does for us, if anything. That's adhesive. Yeah, it's hard not to get stuck in old habits, like old habits die hard. Because I'm so, like, here, is this farmhand even... Like, it is a threat, but it does not attack, even after I attack it. Even some non-hostile NPCs from the other ones would, so I'm pretty sure that is a little bit of a AI glitch. So that's a little bit of a shame. I'm not sure if I took that it would have played automatically.
Let's call these personal journals. Not an official log, just something for me. The Agricultural Center, one of my favorite posts. I was so excited because I used to come to this same farm when I was I remember one year at the Autumn Festival, me running through the corn maze.
That's
Going every which way. Mom and Dad yelling after me to slow down.
that's an interesting thing.
Wasn't gonna happen.
So, because it's only been 25 years within the game time, and I say only, that's actually quite a long time. It's almost as long as I've been around for. Taking into account how most of these characters look younger, the in-game lore would have been something along the lines of like most of the vault
Simple house.
dwellers came in with children or something like that, or a fair amount had kids well in the vault. Because if you think about it, if you were actually going by normal Fallout standards, like the way they normally have the vault set up, every single character when they first got in there would probably be in their 20s and their 30s at most. So, yeah, 25 years to it, you're looking at 50, 60s, sometimes even 70s, these people are. So there's not a lot of young individuals around for when the vault opens up again. And yet a lot of the characters, most if not all, of the people who make their characters are going to make them look younger. They're not going to make them look 25 years older than they quote-unquote should be. But I'm bringing this up because if I should have looked more at the size of that vault, because the way that vault is set up, mind you, it's just a hub for how many ever people, but you can probably get a good read on how many people it could possibly sustain by just like looking around. And if you have families inside that vault, they're not gonna not procreate, I would assume. Then again, I have no idea. But this is just me going off my general assumption, or my general, like, theory on more in-game lore stuff. If you started to add to the population of a stationary thing, and there was no greenhouse, and it was just a stockpile of food that would last you for 25 years, or say you had, say there were 50 people that go to Vault 76. And those 50 people, over a period of the 25 years, have, each of them, between them, split them in half, have one kid. That's, what is that? That's 25, that's 75 people now. So, if you had rations that would last for 25 years for 50 people, you see where this is going. Mind you, they probably had a greenhouse set up and something to be self-sufficient. But how long could that minimal space be self-sufficient for? Like, what is the amount of people that vault could be self-sufficient for? Or would you start to come into shortages of things? Again, wrong button. Just, mind you, this really doesn't pertain to the main thing. It's just me thinking of along the lines of, like, what if this was a regular Fallout game? Then what exactly would be some of the things that you would see in a normal vault? Because the vault that these characters came out of is not normal. As in, where every other vault is a experiment or a study or something like that, this vault was what all the vaults were copped out to be. Now, what kind of a different game would it be had they went out with the idea that all those vaults aren't experiments, they're just regular vaults, how, like, to survive the nuclear wasteland? What kind of a game would this be then? I can't help but mention how green this area is, and it both makes me happy that this has some life to it, and kind of frustrated because in future games they have a very significant downgrade on the what's the word I'm looking for? A very significant downgrade on the flora and fauna. Like, you walk around out here by a pond, you'll potentially see some mutated frogs, or you'll potentially see some opossums that are three-headed, some cool stuff like that. But you're not really seeing that in any other Fallout game for some reason. Plus the green grasses and the trees looking like they have different colors. That's always stuff that has been missing in those games. And the ironic part is they put it in this game, which, not gonna lie, is a bit of a failure upon launch. Had a bit of a failure to launch situation going on. That's the other thing I dislike. How you can't harvest straight from the trees or the rocks. It'd be pretty cool if you could do so. Like this right here. Chicken. Stop moving. I want to see you. The most normal looking creature in the entire wasteland is a chicken. I love that. Also, how many chickens have you seen in any Fallout game? I bet none, right? That's something they really do need to add into their future games. They really need to add more random wildlife, that, like, random neutral wildlife. Throw in some iguanas, throw in some chickens, throw in everything under the sun. The more the merrier, I always say. So, I'm probably going to end this part here and just end the part and continue on, because I had forgot to set my timer up, so I have no idea how long this has been going on for. So I'll do that really quickly before I forget. See you in a few moments.